See how long it takes.
Oh my.
Or it can definitely hear me.
We want to hear you though.
Oops,
Well, we
the
got a
camera
bunch of
died.
mic. All right, yeah.
We want to hear you.
I'm about to do a little jig. Yeah, Angie's with us. Hi, Angie.
Hi, Angie.
Hi, Angie.
Yeah, okay. This looks stupid up there. There it is. I did my jig. All right. That was like 45 seconds in.
It was like about what, like a minute
All
delay?
right, everybody. We are fixing to get ready to get started here. Super huge thank you for everybody that's up here watching and joining us tonight. We're going to remember to look at that camera and not at that TV, so don't get distracted by that. Okay?
I'm getting distracted by that.
Don't look at that. Don't.
Okay.
But this is here just for us to look at pretty pictures here eventually. Guys, I thought it would be fun for you guys to meet some of the folks that help keep everything running. One of the things that you guys may not realize that it takes a lot to have a channel. Well, we have like three multiple channels represented here, right? So Angie couldn't be with us tonight. You guys keep Angie in prayer. She's in South Carolina, just outside Charleston with that storm coming. And this one right here, this is Maggie.
Hi.
She and her husband Carter actually live right close to Angie, and they're stuck here in Texas because they're not going to fly home tomorrow. No. They're going to stay here till Friday. I'm so upset. Oh, darn.
Oh, shucks.
I get to spend some more time with my friends, which is awesome. This is my sister Cheryl. What we have here is we got AirgunWeb, GTA here. We've got backyard shooting there. Now, she used to do all the stuff for Angie, still does stuff for Angie, and Gateway Airguns. So what you have is you're going to get to meet and talk to some folks that have played a huge role in where we are today. And Angie, if she was here, she's absolutely part of that mix. So I don't have the chat rolling on my computer here. So you're going to have to monitor chat over there, Sue, if somebody jumps in and says something, okay?
Yep.
All right. And we're running about what looks like a 45 to 50 second delay over there. So if we pass up, you're going to have to like type in there like crazy. Before we get started, I want to say thank you to our sponsors that help us do this. We've got folks across the channels. If you guys want to see who they are, please visit our website. So you can switch over to my computer here. We have Gateway to Airguns. I'll show you guys really quick. So we have, if you guys want to see who helps us do what we do, you can always go to gatewaytoairguns.com. And there you can get all of our videos that we're doing. And we'll show backyard shooting too, although I think Angie needs to update her site a little bit. Yeah. A little bit. So we'll show you that next time. She's
after she's done something with it.
And then we also have airgunweb.com. And again, you can see all of our content there. Besides that, we also have our sponsors page, which will let you see all of our sponsors and the work we do for them. And you can click on them and you guys get the idea. We also have our forum, which this is like if you're into air guns and you want to communicate to other folks that are into air guns. I'm talking about folks that are really into air guns, not folks who just sign up once and never come back, but folks that are really participatory. They really participate. Is that a good word? I'm making things up as I go. We have tens of thousands of members from all over the world that help communicate and help other air gunners. So gatewaytoairguns.org, and these ads that you'll see flip up here, these are the folks that help us do what we do. And you can click on their link, like Buck Rail right here, and you kick right over. Or if I wanted to go to Airgun Capital, you can go right over and see their cool stuff. And you can help support them simply by clicking on it. Maybe they got something you like, and you can check them out. So super huge thank you to all of our sponsors. You guys can see who they are. Additionally, well, thank you guys. We have Patreon members. We have Officers Club members over on Airgun Army. And we've got some more work happening over here. The Officers Club members get exclusive content, behind-the-scenes content, just some really fun stuff, and early access videos once I get back to doing those. Right now, it's just been a lot of behind-the-scenes content. Anyway, let's move on to our discussion, because we were talking a little earlier. We're having kind of a fun discussion.
We were.
And just a spoiler alert, these two here...
They're trouble.
That they are. They are. I love them both. They're my sister, my actual sister, and my sister in Christ here. So I got two sisters here. So I'm going to let them answer for a minute. So when I came out, I moved out here in 2018, and she lived out here.
Yeah.
And you lived out here.
I lived out here.
And we were in the process out here at our ranch. We were in the process of changing things up. and we were changing it from people needed to work, and I needed people to work. So that's how things started. And she didn't start out editing videos. She actually started out, or did you?
No,
you were doing.
You started me in sales. Which no.
Sales.
And then I was.
Well, for Airgun Pro Shop, let's quantify that, because when I moved out here, I brought Airgun Pro Shop, and right now, if you like really cool Airgun stuff, you want to check out, go talk to Tyler. It's airgunproshop.com. Check them out. They bought that business from me a couple years ago. Please support them. They're a great family out there. Family business. It was a family business here. No, family business here, and it's still a family business. Sue was asking about links. YouTube gets really testy if we put links to buy stuff, so we can't do that, unfortunately, anymore. They're getting even more testy. That's going to be a story for another day. Anyway, I had Airgun Pro Shop when I moved out here, and what fun that was.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yes, it was. And what did you learn there? I mean, you told a funny story. Tell them the funny story. It was pretty funny.
So once we learned sales was not for me.
She had to talk to people.
I had to talk to people, and I didn't know anything about air guns. So Rick decided that I was going to work on social media and the website. So he's training me on the website, and I started freaking out. I'm like, Rick, the computer's frozen.
Yeah, nothing wasn't working.
Nothing was working. I was trying to move the mouse around. Nothing was working. My mouse was off.
Yeah, turn it on. Turn the mouse on. That's a good one. Yeah.
And then the very next day, I was like, Rick.
You can't make this up. I'm just telling you. You can't.
Yeah, I was there that day.
Rick, something really weird is happening. The mouse is like inverted. And Rick comes in and starts laughing and turns the mouse around.
180. It's a miracle.
Amazing. Just fixed it just like that.
So that's what I had to work with. Okay. So jump forward a bunch of years. That was 2018, 19. Yeah. So, we're 5 years in, and now, I mean, things are completely different now. I mean, you transition. I have found it easier to train people on Apple and Final Cut. And actually, I'm in the process. I tried going to Windows PC. There's a whole reason for that, but I tried it. It failed, and I'm going back to Apple just for continuity with all the folks I work with, but is one of the reasons. But I found it super easy to work with folks in that environment. It's just seems to be intuitive and works, and you went from literally not knowing that the mouse has a particular direction you need to point it to editing videos like full-time.
Yeah.
And managing social media and doing photos and just all manner of things from nothing to something. And that's pretty cool. And I'm really pleased to have been part of that. And my sister Cheryl, she has a whole different set of challenges. But she went from, tell us a little bit about how all that happened for you, kiddo.
Hold on.
Someone's mic is crackling up like bad.
It might be mine. All right, so sorry, we've not run 4 mics in here before, so we've got a board Sue hasn't worked with yet, so please forgive that.
So talk about people with challenges and what he has to deal with.
I didn't want to touch that subject. That's my wife. We were going to not talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm here
anyway.
You put me on camera, so
yeah.
I mean, fair is fair.
Yeah, so I mean, Cheryl came to the table with like a whole other set of challenges.
What was that?
It's her alarm.
Yeah, that was my alarm.
Man. So tell us a little bit about your sort of journey, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what it's been like to actually produce the content and learn about this stuff. So why don't you talk a little bit about how you got started?
Okay, well, where Margie,
Mangie, if Angie was here.
Yep. When she started out with sales and stuff, my brother introduced editing to me. And when he moved here and was introducing editing, I thought I needed a science degree to edit. Like, I thought it was very advanced and technical and intricate, and my mind was like, it was Mount Everest, and it's like, oh my gosh, what is he asking me to do? I thought it was a lot, and I don't know if I cried. No, I didn't cry. I might have gone like white in the face, eyes wide. I was going through a lot at that time, so everything was
Bigger.
like little tiny, like like little ant hill was massive. But no, he started me off with these little 1-minute clips for Airgun Pro Shop that, I had to take all these little pictures, and he taught me how you take these pictures and you line it up to the music and you add these little transitions and you get them to go onto the beat and you add some little bubbles with text and there you go. I'm like, okay, I started that. The first one was terrifying. He made like an hour-long video on how to do this. And I watched it and studied it a lot and would keep going back to it multiple times. It got a little easier. And then he introduced, I want to move you to my bigger videos. I'm going to let Margie take over these ones.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Oh my gosh, no!
I just wanted to get her, get her toe in a little bit, and then we just sucked her in like that.
Yeah.
She was stuck. Yeah, that's about it. But the reality is that it has taken... It's taken a lot of work and a lot of effort because we produce a lot of content. Now, over the last couple of years, you guys know I've been dealing with open heart surgery, chemo, all that stuff. And I'm much, much better now. Praise God. Because that is
He's way much better.
It's been awesome. And we're getting our feet back under. We were just going over calendars today. It was kind of fun because we used to have a sales meeting when Maggie and Angie and all of us were working together. And we actually were all on the phone today. It's been the first time since, the transition.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool because we all used to get together to have that meeting. But anyway, we're just now getting our feet under us. And as we were going over the schedule, we're looking at, okay, so we've got 2 premieres a week, plus shorts, plus behind the scenes. It's a lot of content.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It is a lot. And it is, I know when you were doing full-time GTA, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, now... You had a different workflow because you got the wonderful opportunity to work with Angie.
Yeah.
And she's pristine in her takes of everything. I mean, she's an amazing person to edit for because everything is one take done.
No,
it's not. Okay. Sorry. Hi, Angie. So you did learn.
but Angie does have the best bloopers.
She does. She has pretty good bloopers. I actually have some good ones too, but I forbid Cheryl to use them.
Sometimes you let me use some.
Yes. She did take out of the one of me peeing, which was good. that was important.
I've been editing for you like 10-ish years now, and that was the first time. 8 years? 9?
Yeah.
8? Okay, time has passed. We have slept since then. So he finally, after all these years, he broke the streak.
Yeah, broke the streak
of not doing that near the camera.
It's bound to happen. Anyway, yeah. So fortunately, she did not put that in, but she has had some fun with some of the bloopers, and it is fun. They get to see all the stuff that happens that you guys don't get to see. Sometimes, and I know Angie can be very entertaining because I've been around her when she's been entertaining. I'm less so. I'm more grumpy, and I'm not nearly as entertaining. I'm more grumpy, and it's not pleasant. It's not fun to watch me when I'm having bloopers, but maybe Sue would disagree. But I think she'd agree on the grumpy.
You're
have
more
some
serious.
fun bloopers, but your work is work, and you've got a lot of work.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you have a variety of jobs and many hats and many pans in the fire and all that. So for you, when you're out there at the range and you have bloopers, they're not like woo bloopers. They're more like, well, crap.
Yeah, I can't say my name right. That's about, I can't say it's a fax, not what the hell is it again? I don't remember. Yeah, it's more that kind of stuff.
Which company am I filming for right now?
It's GTA, AirgunWeb. Yeah, so that's more the style that Angie has some really fun ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun. But your workflow, let's talk about like your workflow because I'll let you guys think happens, but as the person doing the work, we got to get the product, we got to check it out, we got to test it, we got to shoot it, we got to do all this kind of stuff, and then we film. I cheat. Right? I cheat because I take it out of the box, just shoot it, and I film it. And if it works, awesome. If it doesn't, well, you're going to see it doesn't work. So that's how that happens. But I know there's a lot of work that goes in before you ever get the footage.
Yeah.
But then you get the footage, and what happens next?
Well, first I look and see how long of footage I have. that kind of determines my scheduling, because I also have 2 children at home that do online school, so they're home all the time. But get everything uploaded and working through, start cutting the footage, and blooper, move to the end. Blooper, move to the end. And then Angie will let me know whether or not I can keep them. Yeah.
That's about it, huh?
Well, once you cut everything, then you get it all prettied up and hand it in to Angie and really pray that there's no corrections.
As the guy who gets that, now she's talking about Angie, but Cheryl does the same process, right? So
Yeah.
I'll give her an external drive, and like I did shooting last week. Sue and I were out the range, and we shot. Actually, switch over to my computer. So last week, and this video actually just went live. No, this wasn't when we did last week, but this video went live today actually, and it's doing really well. Thank you to all those folks that are watching this. Crossman Prospect. I think it's a cool gun.
Oh, you're showing pictures.
Yeah,
not
I'm
video.
showing pictures.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the Crossman Prospect, but we'll go out, we'll shoot this video, and we'll shoot like 3 or 4 videos in a day with like multiple shorts, a couple behind the scenes. It's got a bunch of photography. So these are all the pictures that go, like here are the results of our shooting, like the little chicken when we were testing it, and then we tested a bunch of pellets, and this is the stuff that we'll go and we do all this work, and then we bring it back. And I hand this pile of stuff to Cheryl, like, there you go, and I walk away, right? And she goes, okay. She starts making all of these projects based on this just raw data, and that takes time.
It does.
Because you got to get it in the computer, then you got to sort it, then you got to arrange it, and then you start laying things out. And I'll have at least 2, sometimes 3 or 4 cameras, or 4 video portions. So we'll have like ATN.
Yeah, well, depending on your cameras,
Yeah.
you'll have the camera, like he really likes the ATN, so he'll have that. Then he's got his target camera on the target. Then he's got his the camera that
Table
he's
camera.
the table camera. But sometimes he's got 2.
I do. Sometimes I want to be really difficult.
Fancy.
And I'll have one that's sort of like, you guys you kind of get in the front shot, and then sometimes I'll have a shot that's like 90. And so, yeah, I mean, I have all these different angles so that, okay, the reason I have all these angles is so that she can fix all my mistakes. So when you see something go from this angle and then it just magically switches to the other angle without any seamless break in thought, that's her. That's because I made a mistake in what I was saying, and she fixed it with another camera angle. You do the same thing, yeah.
Lots of pictures help with that too.
Yeah, pictures, zooming in.
Because when there's a picture covering something, you don't know what's been clipped and put together.
Oh,
Yeah.
We cheat that way. We cheat on that. I am absolutely a cheater, pumpkin eater.
But I will say when he hands me the footage, he's pretty organized.
Try to.
And having filmed with him and knowing how he does this stuff, if he can actually just give me just give me the chips, and I can also just unload it into a drive for him and organize it. So
We've been doing it for a while. We were thinking about how long did I do it all solo, and I started my first video on YouTube in 2008, and then I transitioned in 2019. So 10 or 11 years, just doing it all by myself. And I was fortunate to get 1 video out a week, and that's before we did shorts, behind the scenes, and all that other stuff. So now that we have help, and she's backup for GTA. So if we got overloaded, and we came very close, like with trying to do all the footage from Airgun Expo, plus we have other projects, plus I have a computer company that has other projects going on that Cheryl helps with too. So backup for GTA is Maggie. So I could transfer files to you, Google Drive, and she can hop right on and do stuff. So it's actually cool that we have this sort of depth on the bench to be able to do this kind of stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of work, and there's no way I could continue to do what we're doing with everything else going on, and especially what I went through over the last couple of years. without like real, like committed folks helping us do what we do. And you guys, it's not like you guys are like gung ho to shoot. Like, if there was like 15 things on the list that you get to do in a weekend, probably shooting air guns is not going to be on the list anywhere in that. But you guys have, I mean, when you do go out and shoot, you do have a good time.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it's not something you're adverse to. But what have you learned? I'll start with Cheryl. What have you learned? She's just now figuring out FPS versus FPE. It's only taken 10 years. Right?
Oh my gosh, that took forever to
you're
learn.
already ahead of me because I have no idea.
Me
Oh
too.
my, well, you're going to be here. I can show you.
Okay.
I'll show you the stuff. I'll even show you the math so you have it. He made me do math.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, yes. So FPS, FPE. Don't ask me like what they are per se, but I've got the gist of how to get the numbers to put in the video. So people have their numbers because apparently they really like their numbers.
They do like their numbers.
I
If
just-
you don't put numbers in, boy, you're gonna get some. You're gonna get some.
So
I just put the numbers into the calculator, and that's what I.
So yes, that took a long time to figure out which one's which, Ricky. Oh, hold on.
What's going on, Sue?
Pause.
I
She's got
actually
a.
think it's her, not
Sorry.
you.
Is it hair?
I think you do a lot of movement.
I know.
think that's-
I apologize, y'all. I move a lot. I'm trying not to. I find myself moving, and I'm like, "Ugh." I'll try to sit still.
That's right.
Maybe I need to sit
You'll
on
be
my
all right.
hands. Oh, okay. Take two.
Yeah.
No, I've went pellets.
Yeah.
I have picked up pellets. So, he would. I know when he says the 1813s. I know he's talking about the JSB exact jumbo heavies, the 1589s.
And they've thrown us a curveball now because just on this page alone, we've got 3 1813s.
Oh, and then, but yeah, because you've got the H&M Barracuda 18s, and then
And the
you've
new
got the
JTSs.
JTSs.
Yeah, so
They're not 1813s though.
18,
They're
well,
18-1.
Yeah, true. H&Ns are 1813, JTSs are 18-1. Yes, these things matter.
They do. They do. Because when you put them in the calculator, you can't just say 15s. You have to say like the 14 something
Yeah,
to
you
get
gotta
them
put-
up there.
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes, Sue.
We're losing bandwidth.
Well, we're going to keep doing the best we are. We're recording here locally. If there is like, we've got a local copy of this, so things go completely hooey. We can edit this, and post it later. So
Yeah,
we'll
I'll
be
edit
okay.
it. Mhm.
We'll be okay. And just for you guys, a lot of the stuff we do here, all of these shows we actually podcast, and it's on Apple and all that other stuff. So you guys want to listen to it, you can do that too. So anyway, so you've learned a little bit about the numbers, and you've
Yeah.
probably learned a little bit about the difference between a PCP and a brake barrel, and
Oh, yes.
yeah, all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And what about you, Maggie? What have you kind of absorbed in the many years of working and doing this work?
Well, considering when I started, I didn't even know what a stock was.
Or a nipple.
Butt stock.
Yeah,
stock?
butt stock.
All right, so there's levels of maturity here in this room. All right, this one is down here. You have to be very careful what you say around this one, or you're gonna get. It's gonna go very bad.
It's
Okay,
gonna
just
go
saying.
south real quick.
Yeah, and when we were working at the pro shop, we always had the little adapters that we would add to the fill probe. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Do you have to work with? We had the adapters, and they got named nipples. And we have a buddy of ours whose name's Phil. And for whatever reason, they got called Phil's nipples because they're
That was their technical name.
Phil nipples. So poor Phil, that he got associated with Phil nipples, and then they came out with different colors of nipples, as you can see, right? You see what I work with? See this? And I'm going to try and stop there because it gets worse when we start talking names of guns.
Oh, wait, please not. No, let's
We
not.
start talking particular brands, bros. Fill it in. It is very hilarious to hang out with these guys and do this work. So you have absorbed much knowledge and information about air guns. Can you speak?
Maybe a little too much.
Maybe a little too much. And it's great when you're in public trying to film Angie and they're just talking about things.
Or when you're at said company's dinner trying to keep a straight face.
Oh my gosh. That is hard.
Yes. So anyway, it is a lot of fun hanging out
It
with
is.
these guys and doing these events. And it's never. I could say it's never a dull moment. There are probably a few, and maybe a few tense moments and otherwise, but it has been a lot of fun working with these guys. So I want to talk a little bit about. And you don't need to be on the photo page. You don't think you are, but
No, I'm not.
I want to talk a little bit about the trip you just took.
Oh, to Florida.
Yeah, so both of these guys have been on trips. Now, Cheryl's gone with me to Squirrel Master.
Yep,
She
Squirrel
has
Master.
not done iguana hunting yet. Maybe. We'll see if that works out.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, she just came back from the iguana hunt with Angie. That was like Angie's first solo deal, right?
Yep.
And she had a ball.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys had a great time, and you
We
guys
did.
were there shooting the Umrex Complete, the Umrex Origin.
Yeah.
What else were you guys shooting? Oh, the Notos.
The Notos.
The Notos Origin and Complete.
Yep.
And you were running ATN optics.
Right.
And you were filming more than shooting, right? Were you doing any shooting?
I shot the last night. I got
Okay.
my first kill ever.
Awesome. Did you have fun?
I did.
Okay. Now, what was that experience like? Because you hadn't been like on a
I've never
that kind
been,
of hunt.
No, I've never been on a hunt.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, the only work trips I've done was SHOT Show, which do like target shooting. But yeah, it's a long day. I think Angie has like 48 to 50 hours of film to go through. I'm not editing that one.
Oh, poor
Thank
Angie.
you.
With nothing perfect. Fortunately, all the audio is pristine. No audio issues at all, from what I understand. Right?
Well,
Okay, go ahead.
well, there were multiple mics and
What happened
some
was
big personalities, and me being the videographer, I got to hear everything, which I thought was pretty entertaining. And then we had Ruth doing the pictures. So yeah, it was long days, but a lot of fun. Definitely worth it.
Yeah. And what did you think of the guns you were shooting? Like, okay, so you guys have heard me talk about the Umrex Complete. Now, I know if you're like an airgun enthusiast, it may not be your thing. It's okay. It doesn't have to be. I really like the gun. I know, Sue, what was your thoughts on the Complete? That was the one from Umrex, the one with the cartridge?
My opinion was I would buy it because I can't carry heavy stuff.
Look at the mic. Look at the camera. Don't look at us.
Look at the mic.
Yeah, look at the mic. Where's Mike? He's left.
I really liked it because it's something you can carry with you, and you get just the the
Cylinder.
you call it
Air cylinder.
Air
It's a
cylinder.
nitro air. It's a nitrogen canister.
So rather than carrying a mini scuba tank or a big scuba tank and a compressor and all that garbage, which there's no way I can haul at all, having something like that you can throw in a backpack. I can carry weight on my back. I can't in my arms. So for me, I thought that would be I'd love to take that out and do something with it, hunting rabbits or something.
Well, we could definitely do it. I know that we're going to be getting, I think Umrex specifically liked your comments and has one coming with your name on it at some point in time.
Thank you.
And didn't
So-
Angie also, I think she mentioned in her review that unlike CO2, it's not
It's
dependent
not
on
temperature
weather.
dependent, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, CO2, when the faster you shoot, the CO2 freezes, gets cold. And if it's cold outside, it's not full pressure. The other side is that CO2 tops out at 900 psi. So people say, you need a bigger tank, you'll get more power. No, you won't. You could have a freaking tanker truck out there, CO2. It's 900 psi. Okay? At normal temperature, it's 900 psi. Can it get more? Yeah, if it gets hot. But point is, it's about 900. The nitrogen bottles are 3,600.
Wow.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
3,600 psi and a little regulated gun. You get 40, about 35 shots, really. Let's say 40 because that's what they say on the marketing sheet. You can get 40 decent shots, and they're accurate, consistent, regulated. It's expensive. This is where the enthusiasts are going to go. Not for me because it's 25 cents a round. Just for the air, okay? A compressor, a decent compressor is $900. You can start doing the math and seeing at what point does it make sense to get a PCP that you fill with the compressor, but then you're not taking the compressor with you. You still got to have a tank. That's another $300-400.
Plus a husband to carry everything.
Yeah. Plus, like servants to come with you. Our children work also. Sometimes you might have to pay them. To these days, they're not like the old days where you just threaten them. But but nonetheless, a little tank, you can buy a couple tanks for $25, put them in your backpack. And if you're a frugal shooter, hunter, if you're like only taking shots with something you have a chance to hit, you probably do well if you even use one cartridge.
I was thinking of when I went shooting with Angie that one night
Oh,
out here, and
Look at the camera.
trying to shoot the mouse. That was, I don't know, 100 and something.
No, it was like 35 yards. Okay,
Okay.
it was 35 yards away.
To me, it might have been. Might as well
She
have
was
been
shooting the
100.
moon. That's all she was doing, man. That thing looked like
But
it was
I
in a
swear
bad
it
Vietnam
was
film, man.
It was like I hit right beneath it and it jumped up. And then I hit. So that would work great for me.
That poor mouse is like, well, they hate these oil cans. What? That's a joke. Only some of you guys that are older are going to get this. They really hate these oil cans. I don't know if nobody here gets that. It's all right.
No, they're too young.
So Steve Martin. Maybe you guys will look it up. Anyway, yes. But the point being with the complete is that it is a complete package. Full power, regulated, accurate, 50-yard accuracy with 30 foot-pounds. A really great small game gun. And I was shooting out to 100 yards here at the range with it. So really, really ideal. And you don't have the temperature issue. And yeah, so all of those things are great. It is expensive. I have to say that because it's just the case. It's just, I have compressors and tanks and stuff. For me to buy the cartridges, that makes sense when I have all the gear to not have to do that. But if you don't want to have to deal with any of that, it's a really, really cool, nice platform. Super light. I know I have full, and I've already said this, I expect to see them expand that. So I think it's a winner, especially if you're not a heavy shooter, you're not shooting 200 rounds in an afternoon just because you can. If you're not doing that, you're shooting casually. I think it's a great, great platform. But you also shot the Origin, right? Did you shoot the Origin?
To be honest, I don't know what I
Okay.
shot. They just handed
They
me
just handed
guns,
you
and then
something?
once that was out, they handed me another one, and
Okay.
because I think there's a couple
If
shots.
Joe was here, he could tell you what the Notos is because Joe loves the Notos.
Joe does love
He
it.
did really like the Notos.
Yes. So the Notos was
Hi,
another
Joe.
one, you guys. And all of those, I think, are about 30 foot-pounds. I think the Origin is more. I think that one's probably, it's 20, I think they shot 25. Gives you more range, more power for the bigger ones. It's going to have more whack to it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, and not that I'm not editing this video, but I will also be learning how to do the hunting videos soon.
You guys might be going on another hunt.
Yeah.
Is that secret?
I don't know.
Well, we won't say anything. But there might be another hunt. It's ladies only. What's up with that? I feel left out. I'm going to get a wig. I have a shirt. Because I think they're going to go do a hunt that I would really like to do. But that's besides the point. Any questions, Sue, over there in the chat? Anything going on?
No, just people commenting on the jerkiness of the video.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't know what's going on with that because I even went off of our AT&T hotspot because, well, who knows? We do have some weather going on around us. So it could be anything because we're not hardwired here. Everything is either microwave DSL, fun. There's an antenna on the thing and an antenna, a dish over here that hooks the wireless off the mountain, or Starlink. But Starlink's not terribly stable pushing data. Yes, Sue.
Pappy of the Iguana people. I
Okay.
love his name. He said it would be fun to meet up with y'all when you come iguana hunting again.
Yeah, I'm hoping to go with Gammo end of the year, so I hope to go out for that. That'll be a lot of fun. I don't go to shoot; I go to film. So I do y'all's job on that particular thing. I'm not the talent, quote unquote, there. Barely the talent here. I go to help support Gammo with their other shooters and try and make sure everything goes well. They also bring Tony, who's awesome. Hi, Tony. I don't know if you ever watch these, but Tony is really, really a cool guy. And he's like their lead QC tech there in Rogers. So he is amazing, really, really nice guy. He's also really huge. He's like this and like this, and if you're in a dark alley, to have the Tony with you is always a good thing. I'm just saying. Hi, Tony. But yeah, no, I go if I go out In December, it would be probably, I go to film. So I go running the cameras, and then I bring all the footage back to Cheryl. She gets to edit it.
I get to edit the Iguana videos.
Now, how have you liked the squirrel hunting?
That's been kind of fun. It's hard. Let me put it this way. In 2 days, I put in about 44,000 steps. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's up and down hills and
in Alabama woods,
Mhm.
and you don't know if you're in the dry part of the woods or the wet part of the woods.
yeah, it's pretty vicious.
Yeah, it's a lot, and there's thorns and stickers and vines, and
It's a lot of fun, though.
I get a camera, and then I just run. Essentially,
Yeah.
because they got the squirrel dogs, and you listen. The trainers or the handlers, excuse me, let the dogs loose, and they look for the squirrels. And as soon as you hear the dogs barking, you're off.
Yeah.
And the 4-H kids and
Oh, thank God for that.
the influencers and all the parents, everybody just takes off following the dogs, and you as the camera person has to keep up and get as much footage as you can. You try to capture the squirrels and the shooters and the event. And it's pretty cool because it's not just like the squirrel hunting, but it's plug in for Gammo. It's a youth-centered event to promote for the youth shooting and the 4-H, and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. It's like a really big family. You see a lot of families come together and the community come together, and there's like a lot of celebrities that come, like big name hunting people.
Yeah.
And
Jackie
sometimes
Bushman helps run it, and you got bone collectors and those guys there. It's a lot of fun.
and
Ralph and
occasionally,
Vicky. Hi, Ralph. Hi, Vicky.
oh yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
And you'll even get like some sports figures have been there. Like one year there was a baseball player, a football player came.
Yeah, we've had. It's been a lot of fun. As soon as somebody asks a question, you're just over there looking at us. That's all right. You can look at us. I'm going to ask her now because she's been hiding all of these weeks and not on camera, but now she's on camera. Now you haven't done the video editing on this per se. Now you helped me with some of the tech video work, right? So not the Airgun stuff, the tech video stuff. But you have been doing some of this type of work, which is running the board, running the cameras, behind the scenes. What have you thought of that?
Well, firstly, I think I can't look here.
You
and
can
talk
look
to
there.
you. It's
Just look there because
weird.
I'm on the screen there. I'll look at you at this camera, and you look at
Okay.
me. How's that? Well, I'll look right
weird.
at you.
But
And she's right over there. It's fine.
first off, it's a little weird because I'm not knowledgeable on this stuff. It's not like I went to school and studied any of this. I'm just learning as I go, and I haven't been to school in like, I don't know, 34 years. It's been a while. So for me, I'm struggling with learning some of this stuff. Okay, so it's a lot to learn. I'm not very skilled on the sound stuff, and unfortunately I don't know some of the technical stuff on the like when levels drop or things like that. I don't know how to fix it, so I want to help. I'm willing, but it's a process. So but this part is the hardest for me because I don't know the setup well, but the range part, like when we do Airgun Expo, we do it for a week consistently. That's easy because I get into the swing of setup, takedown, how you set it up. Everything's boom, boom, boom. There's a process. There's an operation procedure, you know?
Yeah.
That's easy. I love that. This part for me is the harder part because
And
if
in
you
her
saw the
defense,
board,
it's seldom the same way twice. That's
he
my
is
fault.
his father's
I am. My dad, it was so funny. My dad had a radio station for years, and it was 24/7. And it was not uncommon to hear, "Boy, yes, sir. Need you to come redo the radio room. Well, I got an idea. Dad, it's like 2:30. I know. We got to do it right now. Yes, sir." So I get up, and we had this tiny little room in this little house in Vermont, and I'm crawling over gear and hooking up wires and reconfiguring it. It was really fun. My buddy Scott, who's not here but lives almost like a neighbor for them in South Carolina. He used to come in on Saturday and do a show, and every time he came in, it was different. So he kind of feels your pain, so I'm pretty sure. But yes, a lot of this is that we do this enough so that we do it, but not frequently enough where we actually get things like locked in, which I'm hoping to get that fixed. This is kind of an unusual thing where we have 4 people in the studio with each of us mic'd up, and I had to change the board out. And she's going to really love me because that runs on a PC with all the cameras going into the back into a card. That's coming out, and a Mac's going there, so we get to learn a whole other way. So
I'm sorry, you're putting a Mac here?
Yeah.
I'm out of town for the rest of my life.
I thought you would be like
I'm
right
out
on board
of town
with
as long as you're filming on a Mac.
that. I thought she would be like I kind of expect as many cam items. It'll be no
It's
problem.
like I need to switch to learning left-handed everything.
You know, plug-in, that is actually part of the story, because before with me, I was very PC. PC. I only used
She
the
does
Mac
not
when
mean
I was
politically correct, by the way. She's
yeah,
never been that.
No.
no.
But anyway, go ahead.
Squirrel. Anyway, before, no, I was using PC. I knew all these like little tips and tricks with the PC, and he wanted me to edit on a Mac. Oh my gosh, edit on a Mac
And she never would
with
ever
a touchpad.
never use a touchpad ever. And I'm saying, Cheryl, let me just tell you. Touchpad on a Mac is not like a touchpad on a PC laptop. I'm just telling you. Once you use it, you're like, no, I must have a mouse. It must be that. I will never use. Hey, trackpad's pretty cool. Can I get like the keyboard with the trackpad? Because I miss it. If I'm doing it on a big monitor, I need the trackpad. Is that what happened?
Well, he was in town, and I called him,
Mm-hmm.
and I could not. He'd set me up with this big monitor and got me the keyboard, and there was a mouse, and I went to use the mouse, and I couldn't use it. I could not use it and edit the video, and we had a video going out. There was a deadline. I could not edit, and I called him up. Ricky, help! I cannot use the mouse.
Yeah, so he
saved the day.
Yeah, she got a nice Apple keyboard and a little Apple trackpad. So, yeah, no, it's funny the things we've been through over the many years. I'm going on. I started 2008, so we're 16 years in. Is that right? Do I have that math right, Sue? 8.
It's 8:18 p.m. I don't know.
I'm saying
How long it's
16 been a while.
years. Yeah, 16 years. It was February of 2008 where I started, so it's been a little over 16 years. And I was writing and testing since 2005-06. So, but filming and learning how to do this stuff, it's been a while. It's been a minute.
Yes, that's 16 years. I did the math. You
Took
just
her a
gotta
while.
give me a minute.
She had to take her shoes off.
Something like that.
But it has been a bit of a journey, and everything we do, it is really a job. I enjoy the work, and I do the work. I don't do it because it's just fun and enjoyment. I do get paid, and this is our income. Sue works for me at Dog River, and she does web design. She does a bunch of web-related admin stuff, as well as helping with these. She's working on my tech channel video edits, and she's doing that. Cheryl works for me. This is her full-time gig. And Maggie used to work for me. Sorry, Maggie. But now she's working for Angie, so that's all good. She's fine. And they've got a bunch of other stuff going on. But it's when we're putting this stuff out, you're talking about just a single video, maybe. I don't know how much time. How many hours do you have in the prospect video editing?
The prospect video, maybe about 5.
Yeah, so she had 5 hours. I had a good half a day of. Well, I had like half a day of testing. Then we had at least a couple hours filming. So that's probably 10, 12 hours on that one video. And that's really, then you still have publication, and then you have, the follow-up with that. So it's.
And it also depends on how involved in filming you are.
Yeah.
Like how many cams you use.
Yeah.
Are you using, an ATN or one of those others?
Yep, I'm starting to use the Tacticam because I'm trying to figure out ways of creating the content to be more engaging. I've always really, really, really wanted to show you guys what it looks like through the scope. And I think I got the Tacticam to finally work. It's not perfect, but it's usable. And if that continues going forward, that's going to be something that we can really leverage. I like that. So I have the target cam for just pure target footage, but I've got through the scope because I want you guys to see the reticle and see where I'm aiming and see the way the wind works and how it's pushing things around. I think that's very cool. So I'm very much enjoying that. But yeah, that means we could have 5. And if I'm recording the crony stuff, and that's like another video overlay, you could have 5.
Not to mention
Almost
audio
6.
and photos.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Because there's one video that I had 2 cameras. I had 2 main cameras, your target, a scope, and something else attached. And it took 8 hours or a little bit more to do.
Yeah.
So it really depends on how involved the film is.
Yeah.
And I have found personally, Cheryl, I think you've backed me up on this. If you are there when they film it, it goes quicker when you edit it, because you actually remember what happened, what the process was, etc.
I think there is that. I think it definitely can help. Once you've done it enough, it's not as critical. But if you're there during the process, it certainly can. It gives you a first sort of impression of the material and how the flow went and where the mistakes were, without having to just watch it and then come back and deal with it. So I think that is true. I know that's helped you with the tech stuff.
Yeah,
because I started off not being there, and then I helped you. I learned how to film with you for a little while, and then after, I mean, I've gone like Squirrel Master. I think that's about it. Now I get the footage.
Yeah, Sue's really stepped up to help me with the filming side. So we try it and get down the range early 2 days a week to film, so that we get things stacked up and ahead of time. We get our feet under us again, so that we're not working, we're not shooting today to release on Friday. That sucks. That's really tough. But we shoot today to release like a month from Friday.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And that's what we're going for. So when you guys are seeing content and you see what's happening, please realize there's a ton of work that goes into it. And I do it because I love it. Also, it is my job. It is our job, jobs to help do this. And we, if it wasn't for our sponsors that pay us, we couldn't do it. We make zero. Realistically, we make zero on YouTube. And there's a whole new wave of stuff coming out on YouTube with regards to gun content. And I talked about it a couple weeks ago, they've made it now so that you can, if you mention anything that could potentially lead to an indirect sale, they demonetize your content. You do it enough, and you do it blatantly, they could actually take your content down. You do that enough, and they'll just take your channel down. So, and I don't know how they're going to deal with this, because if I link to a bottle of hand sanitizer on Amazon, well, Amazon sells Airguns, so that could lead indirectly to somebody buying an Airgun. I know that that's a stretch, but the point is that their rules are not, they don't make sense, and they're not equally applied either. I know of folks that seemingly work with impunity, and I don't understand that. I don't understand how that works, but it is it's an interesting time, which is sort of why, if you switch over to the computer again, Sue, it's sort of why we maintain all of those things we do. Like Airgun Army is a great platform. If you guys want to try it out, I really like it. We will get back to using this a lot more. We need people to use it, though. I mean, having it's wonderful, but it's one of those things where if you don't use it, I think at some point it's going to become really valuable and really important, and then people are going to have to, like, where's our content? We don't have it anymore. Well, we will have that infrastructure already in place, and hopefully we'll get influencers over and content creators over and begin using it as supplementally, whatever, in addition to what they're doing over on YouTube. Yeah, so Airgun Army is a great place. If you haven't checked it out, it's airgunarmy.com, where we have a vendor's corner, manufacturer's corner, we've got the officers club, and we've also got the creators corner. Right here we've got one this is going to be Angie's. She's got to finish editing it. You guys are seeing my
What
admin.
did that say? Oh, copy Airgun.
Yeah, a copy of that. But like AirgunWeb, here's a little video, some data, and then all of our content. You can click here, and then Cheryl goes up here and posts there. Like, here's our Crossman Prospect that we just released on YouTube.
Yep.
You can actually watch it here, and watching it here is cool. It pulls out of Vimeo instead of YouTube, and our data it doesn't get deleted, doesn't get removed. We can do this is a site we own, so I have full control over it. So this is something that I'm hoping to continue to build out. The idea of the community coming behind a single thing and actually trying to do something together has not worked out, even going back to 2018 when basically all Airgun channels were terminated off of YouTube. That still didn't get people looking to the future and to a solution, because YouTube started letting things back. Everybody just went back to that, which is easy. At some point in time, folks, please hear me, at some point in time, that's going to go away. Facebook is going to go away. We're already in Facebook jail, and I don't know when they're going to just say your page is done and be done with it. So I have made spent a lot of money and put in a lot of effort to create layers of redundancy for my sponsors, for you guys. Airgun Army is the one I really like. I bought Gateway Airguns. So I bought the forum from Travis specifically so that we could have a venue that was like established, and we could support vendors, we could support the sport, we could support content creators, because we have the ARC over here, and we have this needs. I need to reorganize some of this, but you can go here to the ARC, which is the Airgun Repository of Knowledge, and you can see stuff on PCP guns, CO2 guns, or whatever, and get like all the most recent stuff. You can get it, which is really, really cool. So I've really worked hard to create something where even if YouTube goes away, and at some point they're going to pull the plug on gun content, I want to be set up in a way where we don't skip a beat. So these guys help us do that. My wife helps us do it. I'm hoping to train my daughter if she'll do it. She's 17. I'm trying, right? But she, anyway, hopefully she'll want to learn some video editing and help out in the future as well. But I want to say thank you to you guys for your support, for you guys watching what we're doing, for you guys hanging out with us tonight. I'm sorry that the connection kind of sucked. Hopefully that will get resolved. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. We've run for about an hour. Maggie, do you have anything you'd like to share with folks?
No.
No, she's fine now. She's purged. She's back to mature Maggie. She's purged.
I wouldn't go that far.
All the shenanigans.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll just pretend that's the case. Cheryl, do you have anything you want to add to, your whole? You and I work together like every day.
We do.
Pretty much to get this content out, and it's a lot of work. And I know it's been challenging for you at times. I appreciate your work and efforts, but anything you want to add to in all of this that we're doing here?
Hold on. I encourage people to keep up with the air guns. I'm not a big shooter. I occasionally shoot. I still have not shot the complete. I edited that live video and Sue was like, Cheryl, shoot it? Shoot it? No, not today. So I haven't shot that one yet. I do want to. And the cavity's pretty cool. But air guns, they are pretty cool. Support the sport. The other is, disclaimer, this is not being said because there's a camera. My brother and I were talking earlier. We were having kind of like a heart-to-heart. I do thank you for teaching me the video editing.
Oh, you're welcome.
It does fit me well. I do tend to do a lot of creative things. It's kind of weird. I like animals. I'm a video gamer. And I like to do arts and crafts. So editing goes right up there. And he kind of figured that out. Lord's help. And it's worked. I have learned a lot doing this, and it's given me the opportunity to learn a lot of skills that can take me a lot of places and continue helping out with this stuff. And I do like being able to do this.
Yeah,
so.
It's been nice. I know that it's been. As I said, we're siblings, right? So do we always get along? Much better now. Much better now than say 4 or 5 years ago. But besides the point. Generally speaking, it's been a pleasure. We have a kinship in Christ that goes beyond blood or just friendship. So that's been, I think, the foundation for all of us, my wife included, Angie as well. That's been the foundation that really has allowed us to work together and get things accomplished. So that, all the glory goes to the Lord in all of this. So that's just straight up is the case. So it is cool that we get to do this together, though, and I've enjoyed it. Sue, this is kind of, you haven't been, I mean, you've been behind the scenes with Dog River for a long time, but now you're on camera tonight, which is awesome. So
Yay!
My only comment is that, like I said in the chat to somebody, the thing I like the most about working with you is you share your knowledge. So none of us would have known any of the stuff we know had it not been for you sharing your knowledge. And you didn't just suck it out your thumb. It was given to you. So it's been a blessing for all of us to receive that kind of help and unconditional love in the midst of your having to deal with this.
Look, it's been cool. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Guys, stay tuned to the channel. We got a bunch of cool content. We're working on the calendar. I say we, and Elizabeth and Cheryl's been working on the calendar today.
Yeah, please be patient. We are finished with the Airgun Expo content. We maybe a little bit of scragglers that will pop up here and there. He's got a lot. He's giving me lots of content, and we're figuring out when to schedule it out and when to edit it. So it's coming. On both AirgunWeb and Gateway to Airguns. Please stay tuned.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff, and I know you got a bunch of stuff coming out in backyard shooting for Angie. So yeah. So we got a lot of stuff happening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support, and we're gonna call it a night. That's gonna be it. My name's Rick here with AirgunWeb. Thanks for watching.